Harris was thinking about those superhero movies where once you get the power, it helps in every tough situation. According to the disintegration system, only his spirit had reached the level of an ordinary adult. The rest of his attributes were not up to standard. Harris started thinking about the mathematical crystal he had obtained after decomposing the math textbook. It was as if the book had been condensed into a crystal by some unknown means. After he had fused with the crystal, he controlled all the knowledge in the book. Thinking of this, Harris was overjoyed. If that's the case, can I decompose every subject into knowledge crystals and then merge them? Just for assurance, he picked up an English book from his desk. I wish I could absorb all the information. The English book in Harris's hand emitted a gentle light.
Congratulations on deconstructing the third-year English book. Obtained 1 third-year English knowledge crystal. Deconstructing complete. Do you wish to extract and fuse it?
At the same time, a polyhedral crystal appeared in Harris's mind once again.
Grade 12 English knowledge crystal. Contains all the English knowledge before grade 12.
Yes! As soon as Harris's voice faded, the crystal melted once again and merged into his mind. Immediately, a stream of information rushed into his brain. There were all kinds of dialects, pronunciations, and words, and Harris instantly understood them all. He was experiencing the English knowledge crystal that he had just fused, and he had lost track of time. With the sound of the bell ringing, Mr. Jones stopped his lecture. Harris was also startled awake. Under everyone's strange gazes, he packed his things as if there was no one else around. Of course, this time he had a lot of textbooks in his backpack. As he walked, Harris thought about how he should use the system in his hands to quickly change a situation. Suddenly, he heard a series of screams. Ah! Save me! Hey, little girl, come on, kiss me! Harris quickly ran forward to see what was going on. He noticed 3 young men with their sleeves rolled up and their bodies covered in tattoos. They were dressed scruffily and were hassling a female student who was dressed in the Joseph Academy High School uniform. Her name was Emily Smith, and she was desperately shouting for help, her face full of fear. Someone, save me! Emily had already lost all hope. Cutie, come with us. I will take good care of you. Right, I will definitely take good care of you. The 3 guys were about to drag Emily away. Despite being outnumbered, Harris pretended to be calm and composed as he said, Hey, what are you guys doing? You're bullying a girl? Why don't you pick on someone your size? The 3 were shocked by the voice that had suddenly appeared. They turned around and realized that the sound had come from a student who was still wearing his school uniform, and they became even more arrogant. One of the hooligans tilted his head. He looked at Harris with a mocking face, and then turned around to look at Emily. You want to be a hero and save the damsel in distress? When Emily heard that, she was somewhat relieved. Please help me, she shouted, but when she turned around and saw the thin student wearing a school uniform, her hopes were dashed. How can he beat them? Am I really not going to get out of this? Emily's tears had covered her cheeks. She looked forlorn. At this point, Robert Jones, one of the thugs, suddenly took a folding knife out of his pocket. The knife was about 20 centimeters long. He gently patted the knife in his palm as he looked at Harris mockingly. If you leave now, I will pretend like nothing happened, Robert said. When Harris saw the knife, he was nervous. Although he was a bad student, he had never been in a fight before. He had heard what Robert had said, but if he didn't do anything, he knew he would regret it. So, he lowered his head and looked around. He wanted to find a weapon that could compete with the folding blade in Robert's hand. He looked around and only found a brick under his feet. There was nothing else that could be used. After Harris picked up the brick, he made up his mind and stared at Robert. Harris couldn't quite believe what he was doing. Then, he remembered that he had power. He lowered his head and glanced at the brick in his hand. There was a dead spider on the brick, which he must have crushed when he picked it up. The disintegration system asked him the question, and he responded without any hesitation. Yes.
Congratulations on breaking down a spider. Disintegration complete. Would you like to extract and fuse it?
Soon, a small ball of light appeared in Harris's mind. When his eyes focused on it, a message was sent into his brain. He suddenly realized that the spider had given him the ability to fight, and that wasn't all. Danger perception grants you a sharp sixth sense, able to detect danger ahead of time and react to it, the mechanical voice in his head told him. Harris extracted the danger perception skill. Soon, the ball of light in his mind merged into his body and disappeared. Then, his eyes lit up, and everything around him became clear. He felt his body become stronger and more relaxed. However, on the outside, nothing seemed to have changed. Robert saw that Harris had picked up the brick and was not leaving. This made him very angry. "You forced me to do this," he snarled. Robert's expression was ferocious. He approached Harris, swinging the knife threateningly.
Did you like this story? You can listen to thousands of such stories on the Pocket FM app. You can download the app now. Click on this icon on your screen, or click the drop-down icon right beside the video title. Or search for Pocket FM on the App Store on your iPhone. Now tap the Get button on your iPhone to install the app. Join millions of other listeners on the Pocket FM app and discover thousands of riveting stories today.